Tasmania's political chaos isn't just shaking up government, it's threatening the future of the state's new AFL team, the Devils. Some people will tell you there's no real danger. That the no-confidence motion against Premier Jeremy Rockliff and the looming election are just bumps in the road. That, at worst, things will be delayed for a few months and the stadium, and the team, will still go ahead. But that's not how this works. And that view ignores two massive problems. First, deadlines. Under Tasmania's deal with the AFL, the state government has to meet several key milestones. One of the biggest is coming fast, June 30th. By that date, all planning and environmental approvals for the Macquarie Point Stadium must be in place. But that hasn't happened yet. The stadium project has been passed from one planning process to another. Recently, the government introduced special legislation to bypass that red tape and push it forward. They knew time was running out. That legislation was supposed to go to a vote soon. But now, with Parliament set to be dissolved ahead of an election, that vote won't happen. This isn't just a delay. It's a disaster. No Parliament means no vote. And no vote means the deadline will be missed. Yes, deadlines in the original 2023 agreement have already been bent a little. But a delay of a week or two is one thing. An election wipes the calendar clean. This isn't a hiccup. This is a crisis. Second, uncertainty. The Devils' high-performance center already faced delays and opposition. But at least that part of the project is still moving forward. The stadium. It's hanging by a thread. The biggest threat now is political, and it's about what Tasmania's next parliament will look like. No one knows. Not even the major parties. That's why Devils chair Kath McCann was in tears this week. That's why AFL executive Brendan Gale said publicly that the election puts the team at risk. It's almost certain that neither major party will win a majority in the next election. That means whoever leads the next government will need support from the crossbench, a mix of independents and minor parties. And most of those crossbenchers are firmly against the stadium. That's the corner Tasmania is backed into. It's incredibly likely that the next government, whether it's led by Labour or the Liberals, will have to rely on anti-stadium MPs to stay in power. And those MPs won't give away their support for free. The first demand on the table: scrap the stadium, kill the deal, cancel the team. What independent would back a minority government without asking for that? Which new MP would take the political risk of supporting a project that polling shows is deeply unpopular? Even if the Liberals had avoided an election by replacing Jeremy Rockliff, they'd still be in trouble. The crossbench would still hold the balance of power, and they'd still be anti-stadium. And to make matters worse, many of the agreements that helped the government stay in power weren't with the Liberal Party itself, they were personal deals with Rockliff. Take David O'Byrne. He supports the stadium and the team. But even he wouldn't back a new Liberal leader unless it was Rockliff. That's how complicated this has become. His sister, Michelle O'Byrne, is the Speaker of the House. Some thought she might break the deadlock with her casting vote. But her loyalty to Labour was stronger than any desire to stop the crisis. So now, the only possible savior is the AFL. What can they do? Not much. There's zero chance the AFL will drop the requirement for a stadium at Macquarie Point. That was a core condition of Tasmania getting a team. AFL club presidents had to be dragged over the line to agree to it. And don't expect any change to the requirement for a roof, either. That's non-negotiable. There's talk that Labour could pivot to a new plan, Stadium 2.0 inches, but sources say that's not happening. In fact, many Tasmanian MPs dislike that idea even more than the current stadium plan. Especially the Greens. So where is there room to move? Maybe, just maybe, the AFL would agree to a delay. They might allow the election to happen, give the new government a chance to sort things out, and continue if the new leaders recommit to the stadium. That's what Labour is hoping for. But that's a massive gamble. It depends on a new, potentially fragile government staying pro-stadium in the face of fierce opposition. It depends on independents flipping their positions. It depends on everything falling into place, against the odds. And right now, that's all the Devils have. They were promised a future in the AFL. Now,